Hi, this is video number 4 for our TI-84 Plus calculator, and in this video we're going to discuss linear regression. With linear regression, what we like to do is first start off by entering our X and Y coordinates, our data points, into our list. So if you remember from a previous video, if we press on Stat and then number 1, this is where we can put our list in. Now my list 1 is actually my X variable, my domain, my independent variable, and it was the number of people that sat at tables at a restaurant. And then we had our list 2, and list 2, which was our Y variable, that was the amount of money that they paid for their total bill after eating at that restaurant. So for example, we had 10 people at a table and they spent $136. We had a table of 4 that spent $71. Now with linear regression analysis, the first thing you like to do is make that scatter plot, which we did in video 3. So I've already have my calculator preset. So I'm going to go to stat plot. My plots are off. So I'm going to press number 1. I'm going to press enter to turn that on. And then enter for the scatter plot, the first type of graph. I have my list 1 as my X list, my list 2 is my Y list. And so now I can go with a zoom 9 and notice there's my scatter plot, which is what we did in video 3. Now with video 4, what we're going to do is we are going to ask the calculator to apply the least square methods to find the line of best fit. Now to do that, what we're going to do is go to a very familiar button that we've used before, and we should be getting used to this button. It's the Stat button. And from the Stat button, we're going to go ahead and arrow over to the Calc menu. And so when we arrow over to the Calc menu, these are all the different types of calculations that we could do with data list. And we are going to use number 8. Right here it says linear regression, a plus bx. And that's what usually statistical programs use. Now you will notice there's number 4, which looks very similar to number 8, but the slope and y-intercept variables are interchanged. So most statistical programs, like I said, like to have the y-intercept first and then the slope. So we're going to go ahead and press number 8. And you can see that we have linear regression, a plus bx. You'll also notice that it defaulted to the list 1 and list 2 for our independent and dependent variables, the x and y. What we're going to do is arrow down until we get to the store regression equation. So we arrow down and we got to the store regression equation. And we're going to ask the calculator to find this line of best fit, but we're going to ask it to be stored into the Y1 area of the calculator so that it'll graph it with our scatter plot. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and press the variable key, which on our calculator is called vars. So we have the vars for variables, and then we're going to arrow over again until we get to the Y variables. So Y vars. And in the Y vars, you'll see that we have number 1, which are functions. And that's what this is. This is going to be a function to show a relationship between the number of people at a table and the final bill. And we're going to press 1, and you'll see there, number 1 is for the storage area of the first Y equation. So I'm going to press 1 again, and this will tell the calculator to store that. What we need to do next is we then have to arrow down to calculate. So arrow down to calculate. And after we arrow down to calculate, then we're going to press enter. And you'll see our information for our linear regression equation. So this equation of the line of best fit is y equals And actually I'm going to use y hat, and that's how we used to show a predicted y value. 21.29 plus 13.04 x. And then this is my y-intercept and this is my slope. And we will talk about how to interpret those later. You will also notice that we have something called the r squared, and that's actually the coefficient of determination. And we will discuss its meaning in later lessons, as well as the coefficient correlation coefficient, which is 0.94. And we will also discuss those in later lessons. But for right now, what we want to do is go ahead and show that line with our scatter plot. So we're going to use the same function we used for the scatter plot, zoom 9, and there you'll see we have our scatter plot with the line of best fit. Hope this video is helpful to you understanding better how to use the TI-84 Plus calculator in linear regression. Thank you.